where grassroots governance in Nigeria has suffered neglect over the years, which gave rise to the calls for local government autonomy. In continuation of this, the Senate has expressed full backing for the Supreme Court's judgment on the matter. The resolution of the Senate was sequel to prayers by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Jibrin, stating that all states and local governments fully comply with the Supreme Court's judgment on the disbursement of funds accruing to all local governments in the country. Now let's share the story by TVC News' TVC News with you.
7 of our 1999 Constitution as amended.
Senator representing Anambra North, Tony Nwuyi, presents a matter he considers urgent before the Senate. The lawmaker in his motion alleges an attempt by some state governors to divert monies meant for local governments to states' joint account, which is against the Supreme Court judgment backing full financial independence to local governments.
Few state governments, through their respective state House of Assembly, through their different state House of Assembly, seek to enact laws, while some have already enacted laws and continue to take action that undermine the financial autonomy of local governments, thereby breaching the constitutional provision 1999 Constitution as well as the judgment of the Supreme Court.
There is urgent need to amend Section 7 of 1999 Constitution as amended to further guarantee the autonomy of local government.
The decision of the Supreme Court.
However, some of his colleagues argue that the matter is not debatable as the position of the Supreme Court supersedes all. This mild argument later led to an emergency closed session to further discuss the matter.
I believe discussing this issue will amount to overcrowding it, or overflowing the issue.
We have a larger duty to do than to debate. So, in my experience as a former commissioner for local government, the state government also has a part of its monthly allocation, which it contributes to the local governments.
While urging all states to ensure strict compliance, the Senate vows to begin alteration to relevant sections of Nigeria's 1999 Constitution to ensure full compliance with full autonomy for local governments. TVC News, Abuja.
All right, Asukun, what do you make of, looking at that report, what do you make of the allegation by the Senate that these governors are trying to manipulate and also violate the July 1 Supreme Court judgment?
I think that if they don't shout now,
if they don't shout
and they don't say anything, that is how the governors will have their way. Let's just be frank with ourselves. If we believe that we are operating a federal system of government, I think the Supreme Court judgment was what actually moved us towards a federal system of government. Yes, we've not gotten there. We've not gotten there because there are some things that
exactly there's still some true.
But at least it was a step, to getting to true federalism that you just said. This local government is supposed to be autonomous, just like the state governors as a federal government. Okay, so for the Senate to come, it means that there are some people, some governors who are not happy by that judgment. And I'm very sure there will be most Nigerians don't even care whether the governors are, because we are saying something about hunger now. The things that the governors are supposed to do with their allocation, they are not using the money to better our lives. So now we are looking at the local government are even very, very close to us. That we can easily walk into any local government office and say, I want this, I want that. They are still trying to see how they can dip their hands inside the cookie jar of the local government. And the Supreme Court has said, no, leave these guys. Let them be autonomous. State governors are not supposed, there are so many things. If you look at the list of what local governments are supposed to do in the Constitution, the state governors are still doing it. And it shouldn't be, because they are supposed to leave it for, like clearing of dustbins, for instance.
Maintaining of markets.
Markets, abattoir. All those things are not supposed to go to the state government.
The state government,
no,
true.
It is the local government. Because they are the ones that are very close to the people. So for the Senate to step in, it means that they've heard and they know that there are some governors who are trying to tell the local governments. Yes, they are the ones that will bring the local government chairman anyway.
Well, true.
You understand? They are the ones. But they still don't want it to be like, they want to make it official, in quotes. you understand? So that once the money comes directly from factory, they should also move some of that money, or if not all, to a particular account that will have state and local government. This is something that the Supreme Court has removed completely. There shouldn't be a joint account between the state and the local government.
Sure.
Local government money goes to local government. State to state.
State to state.
So I think the Senate has done well by trying to look at it. If they need to make some correction, amendment,
the amendment, Section 9. But anyway, all right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. But when we return, I'm going to be coming to you with a question that, are governors scared of local government autonomy? Will it make them less of a governor if they have that local government autonomy? But we'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere. It's still Journalist. All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I'm still here with Asukwa James and Tunde Abaton. So Tunde, I asked you a question. Does it look as if these governors are scared of autonomy of local government? And with this autonomy, will it make them less of a governor? Because why these moves to stop the autonomy?
Naturally, if you control 32% of the federation account, federal government 52%, and states 26%, naturally you are not supposed to be more interested in what the next tier of government is collecting. But like the feeding bottle analogy I gave the other time, they are used to dipping their hands into detail
of the
courtesy of the Section 7 of the Constitution, 1999 Constitution. So they are used to dashing out money. They consider themselves as Father Christmas to the local governments. So, and they have enjoyed this thing over the years. So it's not so easy to take it.
The feeding bottle.
The feeding bottle from them. So number two is that for the sake of politics, their political sphere of influence, when they have a grip on the finances of the local government, they can dictate to the local government chairmen what they want in any of the areas, especially those of them who are either first-time governors or outgoing governors who also want to go to the Senate and retire there. They want to have full control of the local government chairman. And you cannot have full control if the money, if the feeding bottle is not with you. So that is their problem. Number three is that, I can say it here now because I live on the border areas of the state. 80% of our governors in Nigeria are not interested in grassroots development. They are not interested at all.
Strong allegation.
Most of them, when you go to many states, look, I traveled to Kogi State last week, and we passed through, in Ekiti State alone, we spent about 5 hours for the conference of the GOCOP, Guide of Corporate Online Publishers. From Lagos, a journey that should not take more than probably 8 hours. Because the last time I went to Abuja, probably 12 years ago, by road, it's not up to me. We'll get to Lokoja, but we took 18 hours, 14 hours, which means they are not developed the interland. The federal road has damage. So for vehicles to go inside, where you can meander. I used to travel in car, with my car, to all the 6 states of the Southwest for 7 days, and you will enjoy driving. But now all the roads are bad. So which means they are not even maintaining that road that they inherited as of right, as per the provision of the Constitution. So you are also interested in taking the fund of the local government. So that is why they are scared. They are scared of their political control. They are scared of the finances slipping from their hands. They are scared of the fact that, you know, the most popular election, people don't know that it is the election of a councillor. Because if a councillor is not popular, the easiest way to defeat you is to the council. Personally, I like the option A4 that Babangida brought. If you want to be governor or president, if you are defeated in your council, you cannot go in your ward, you cannot go anywhere again. So the governors know that the powers of the people rest in the local government. So if they allow the funds to go to the chairman of local council, those chairmen too will become lords.
Okay.
So they will not be able to be
And there can't
godfather
be two captains in the ship.
on the ship.
Definitely.
So they want to, because they are not satisfied with, like I said now, I started with the fact that they are getting 32% of the federation account. For God's sake, it's not enough. Why must you be interested in market, in radio and television license, in all this thing? They are not satisfied with what they are having. Lastly, the fact that they are not committed to rural development. When there's rural development, I keep on telling people that the head of the 774 local governments in Nigeria is the head of Nigeria as a country. If the 775 local governments have electricity, if they have power, if they have very basic things of life, they are not interested in building airports. They are not interested in all these things. If they have it, Nigeria as a country will be peaceful. Yes. But this government, I believe governors are more culpable because for the pervasive poverty that is all over Nigeria now. The governor, because they are not releasing money to the local
former president.
If you are releasing money to the local governments, the poverty level
will reduce.
And the anger that is in Nigeria now will reduce.
All right, let's talk a little bit of law now. We've heard that some states' houses of assembly are now trying to tinker with the law. But the state houses of assembly, do they have the right to legislate over monies, funds coming from the federation account? Do they have the right to do so?
No, well, just like you said, they are trying to tinker. Okay, so, and just like I told you, now that we have arms of government, the major arm of government, which is the judiciary, has already given us full interpretation of the law made by them.
Oh dear.
Okay, so they actually made the law, but the interpretation of that their law is what the Supreme Court has given us.
Okay, now let's look at solutions now. Section 7 of the Constitution, that's what talks about the system of local government by democratically. Now, if the Senate review that Constitution, do you think it will give this local government autonomy some sort of stronger footing from being...
You know, from what the Senate President said, and this is not the first time he has been saying this anyway, because I remember before the local government election in Akwa Ibom, he said something like this, you know. So it means he's even more interested in it. He was also a commissioner for local government.
Yes, he said
so. So he has seen the power that lies in the local government.
Okay.
And how far-reaching development can, go on when the local government is autonomous.
Okay.
So fine. What he will now be doing is for him to now tinker that
part of the Constitution
in such a way that the local government chairman or the local government will have their own autonomy in terms of finances, in terms of even legislation. Because the local government, through their councillors, can sit down and say, okay, fine, we want to make laws for ourselves that will determine what will happen in my local area. Because what we just have now is that so many laws, everybody is trying to look at the 1999 Constitution. Nobody is looking at Ikeja bylaw.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Ikeja should have a bylaw that will just determine what is happening around Ikeja.
Exactly.
You understand? So that is what Nigerians should be thinking of. And that is where I feel the Senate is trying to look at.
Okay.
And I hope they'll go all out of it, because if they don't, the state governors will take over the whole thing again, and then
I agree. Lords. In just 30 seconds, we're pressed for time. What are your thoughts on that one? In just 30 seconds.
Well, I think that the Senate should be bold enough and move ahead with
that proposal.
To change that section 7 of the Constitution.
Okay.